the real networks are for the people. If the people are unhappy, that is the marker. Third time he gets caught cheating, wife calls it. I was like, no, you are a habitual liar and you're a systemic cheater. And if the response is, hey, no, that's not fair, okay? Those were three isolated cases. Three different women.
Would you prefer if like every breakdown, right, you see like the Siow mobile comes, you know, then like Jeffrey comes out and he's there.
Do you feel there are sufficient task force in Singapore?
No.
Not enough, right?
I think there should be one new task force a day. Imagine this. It's 9th August 1965. Singapore is officially out of Malaysia. Uncertainty lingers in the air. Even Lee Kuan Yew and other leaders like S. Rajaratnam weren't sure that Singapore would survive. But what was it like for everyone else? In 𝘎𝘐𝘅 episode 713, Janadas Devan, chairman of the Singapore International Foundation, joins us to share his perspective on how our country navigated the murky waters of our early years to become the thriving global city we see today. We dive into the policies, institutions, and lived experiences that shape Singapore's social fabric and confront some of the cracks that challenge our cohesion today. But it's not all history. We also discuss Singapore's biggest challenges and why he still believes deeply in our nation's future. The link to the episode is in the description below, so please go check it out. And now, on to the podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 𝘎𝘐𝘅, your thrice weekly podcast where we talk about the hottest news with a touch of what, Rishi?
A touch of good old humor.
Why lah? Why that? What do you call that accent?
I don't know. It's like southern, I guess.
Southern accent.
I'm trying to let your audience know that this is not Terrence.
Not Terrence.
Terrence has a very, sexy, deep voice, like he's giving a presentation to the insurance companies after passing out from Raffles Institution.
So while he's away, you just shit on him lah.
I'm hoping he will listen to this and there's a compliment, Terrence. Really appreciate it because Terrence makes a lot of very interesting points, and you tend to take him a bit more seriously because his voice is like that. So
opposed to me lah.
Yeah, your voice is too high. I think your sound engineer also agrees. Terrence can say the most ridiculous things and with just this voice, he gets away with it,
Yeah.
Like,
in fact, I think his voice is even lower than that.
It's a bit lower, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, miss you, Terrence.
But
yes.
But good to have you back, man, Rishi. If you're new to the podcast and have been living under a rock, Rishi Budhrani, professional comedian, professional host, ex-NDP host, up in the annals of comedian history in Singapore.
I don't know why you have to use the word annals, but you can take the annals and shove it up your annals. Okay, no, I mean...
yeah.
No, but thank you a lot. Thanks for having me, man. Always a real pleasure, real joy to be back on the 𝘎𝘐𝘅 podcast. It's exciting to see your growth. I honestly was very surprised to get a phone call to come back on the show, given, the Prime Minister, the Leader of Opposition, and all these fellas are coming here. Like, do you really need comedians who've been in the annals of
course
Singapore?
We do, because now you are a podcaster yourself.
Well, I guess, yeah. I'm an interviewer on a series. I do a little bit of that. Inspired, of course, a lot by the work that you folks do here.
Wow, you're too kind, man. No. So, I mean, if anyone's listening and interested to check it out, is the Rishi Report available on Spotify and YouTube?
At the moment, it's these two platforms. Yes, check it out.
And how many episodes do you have?
Well, we had like 10+1 episodes in the first season, which was very election specific, election heavy. And now we just are in the midst of season 2, where our debut guest was the very iconic, talented Kumar.
Oh, that's true. Kumar. That came out a week ago?
It's been about a month, actually. Yeah.
Oh, about a month. Okay,
Okay. So that's our debut of season 2. We've had a interesting lineup of guests, and we continue to try and line a few more people up who... in my opinion, at least, have had some kind of significant contribution to Singapore over the past 60 years. Not just, in terms of the economics or, the awards or what, but even to the social fabric of the nation, which I think is very, very sometimes not talked about enough.
So is this new, emphasis on like the social fabric of Singapore and like important discussions a consequence of doing the podcast? Well, I mean, it was very elections heavy, right? You had a lot of candidates on.
Yep.
Yeah, and I assume you've been keeping track of the politics since GE.
I have been, man. I've been doing my best to stay abreast of the various topics. With regards to the social fabric, I think, because it is a self-edited, self-funded project, can do what I want with it. It's kind of been, in a lot of ways, something I've dreamt of for a long time, to be able to just make this kind of producing and editorial decisions and content decisions with guests on the show. So I think it's really on how I feel in that season. First season, I felt like, oh man, I want to learn about elections. I want to know more about the candidates. I want to know more about, how the politics works. So it was geared towards that. Second season, it feels like, I feel like bringing my trainer on the show and talking about my physical health journey. I feel like talking to an educator about how she feels that parents and children are dealing with the stresses of PSLE. Or I feel like talking to, like, one of our upcoming guests is actually a 10-year-old boy who's taking exams for the first time. So yeah, man, it's just really no real direction. It's really how I feel, how I feel that season, and then we just go with that, and then y'all can come along the journey.
But gonna talk about politics also?
Of course, yeah, of course. I feel like and this is a direct message to all the politics people out there. I feel like you all stop answering my calls after election. During election, it's like, yeah, man, Rishi, of course, we'll be on your show. After that, hi, hello, remember me? It's like, who? Did you vote for me? Yeah, I did. Okay, wait, let me get my team to call you back. Then nothing really.
Nothing.
It's becoming way harder, I think.
No, but I think if you keep talking about it, I mean, the reason why also we got you back on as a guest is because we know you cover, I mean, you have an interest in that, and Parliament just started.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And I mean, finally, there's topics in the news that are, related to policy and politicians.
You know why I love talking to you about this? Because I very rarely see people, if you're watching this, right, you see Harish's eyes right now. When he said Parliament, he had like, when you take like a heroin shot, right, your pupils dilate, right? When he said Parliament, he went like, Parliament is on.
Dude, we went to Parliament on Monday.
I know. I'm not surprised. You've told me so many times.
It was a team event. Our whole team went. I mean, Terence is away. But yeah, our whole team went for a team event to watch Parliament live. I'm
very proud of you. I support this kind of team bonding activities. I mean, how many times are you going to go for KTV? That's the thing, right? Go and sit in Parliament, watch Sia Camping tell you that, you shouldn't live stream, you shouldn't treat this like a TikTok live stream. And how you should keep your questions sharp.
Have you been to Parliament?
I have not,
Dude,
physically,
you should
I have
go,
not,
man. It's so easy to get to. And you really see a different side of the proceedings. Yeah, and I mean, the first topic which we are going to jump into is a topic that was discussed, I believe, on Monday. So it was the first day, September 22nd. We weren't there for this discussion, but before we jump into it, I mean, we normally give a spiel for people to follow our podcast, which is on, social media, Instagram. If you want to work with us, you can reach out to us at contact@ministryoffunny.com or drop us a message at ministryoffunny.com. Anything you want to plug or not? I mean, you have a chance to plug anything throughout the show, but for now...
So we plug up front.
Okay, maybe...
Shouldn't we earn the audiences?
You need to earn it. You need to earn it. Okay, yeah.
Wow.
That's true.
Look at this. Way to make your guests feel at home, bro. Like, okay. Yeah, no, I'm good. You need to earn the audience trust before you plug anything.
Because this is not one of those episodes where we are finding out who you are, Rishi. You've been to like how many times on this podcast already?
I've been. No, it's cool. Yeah. Okay, but maybe I'm sure you keep getting new people who have no idea who I am.
Okay, true. So then you can give a spiel, like just where to follow you.
Later. Y'all watch the full episode and listen first. And if you like what we talk about, then I'll tell you where to find me. Otherwise, no point. You find me, come and find me for what?
Maybe they find you damn funny in this first 5 minutes already.
Okay, that's very possible. But you know what it is? I tell you, because I open mic on the stage so much, right? And not every show is a great show. Sometimes you have, good shows. Sometimes you're testing a new joke and, the show doesn't go so well. And talking to people after the shows really gives you an idea of how you did that night. Because there are some nights I come off stage and people are like, Rishi, where have you been? How come you don't have so many Netflix specials? Where can I find you? And some nights they'll be like, so you do this full time? So those nights...
Really? Full time?
Really? So is this your full time thing? And I'm like, yeah, bro. Just shut up. and let me go.
I
No, but
see,
I
see.
welcome all of those feedback.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, just a short plug. They can find you on Instagram, TikTok.
That's right. I'm Rishi
Budhrani.
Budhrani on all social media platforms. The benefit of having a unpronounceable, unspellable, rare name like Rishi Budhrani is that nobody takes it. Yeah, social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook,
YouTube. Solid.
Same. Yeah.
Cool.
Only one guy.
Okay, so now we can jump into the first
Do
topic.
it, man. Let's do what we are here for, bro. The important shit.
Exactly.
The game-changing shit. The Singapore-altering shit that you guys do.
Yeah. I mean, people already know that we're going to do that. So you didn't need to use 3 lines to describe what we're going to get into.
It's a setup, man. Come on.
It's a
I'm
setup.
building up to the crescendo.
All right, cool. So the first topic is the topic around train disruptions that was covered in Parliament. More specifically by the acting Transport Minister, 𝘕𝘂𝘍. So, I mean, you definitely know that Parliament has been going on. But the funny thing is, you know, like a lot of people are saying, oh, disruptions are happening so often. The reality is the last time you came on our podcast, 11 months ago, you also spoke about train disruptions.
Yeah, I don't know why you keep calling me back to
Just so
discuss
happened.
this.
It just so happened.
So happened.
We arranged this a few days ago. Parliament spoke, and just so happened the topic is about transport. So, like, I mean, just before we dive into the details, what's your feel of the rate of breakdowns this past year since 11 months ago?
I think in recent times, it's no secret that there have been multiple. And I think sometimes the data is less important than the public sentiment. Because the real networks are for the people. If the people are unhappy, that is the marker to me, right? So, unfortunately, I feel in this situation, the acting minister's responses have been not the best if you want to deal with the public sentiment. I mean, when SMRT came out and said that, oh, you know, these are not systemic issues, these are isolated cases. That is a really unhelpful and really... I don't know, from a PR perspective, really a worst response you can give to unhappy people who are late for work and late for school. And what are they going to tell their boss? Like, boss, sorry, I know I'm late 3 times, but there are 3 isolated cases. I'm not a systemic latecomer, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I can understand what they're trying to say, but I think sometimes they say it in such a problematic manner that it makes the situation sound worse than it already is.
Yeah.
And I think that happens a lot. Like, okay, bro, imagine you're a married man, right?
Yeah.
Right? Imagine you someone like a buddy, right? Your buddy gets caught cheating. First time, the wife say, okay, never mind, let go. Second time he gets caught cheating. Wife say, never mind, no problem. Third time he gets caught cheating, wife calls it. I was like, no, hey, you are a habitual liar and you're a systemic cheater. And if the response is, hey, no, that's not fair, okay? Those were 3 isolated cases. 3 different women, 3 different time zones. So it's not fair for you to lump them all and call me a cheater.
A systemic cheater.
Yeah, I'm not. These are isolated. Let's deal with it on a case-by-case basis. You know what? Let me get my friends together. Let's create a task force, okay, to investigate my cheating. To me, that's how it sounds, right? Like, how can you...
And then you must also say, but statistically, a lot of men cheat. You know?
Yeah. And I know it may seem like I'm bad, but wait till you see, you know, Brian. Brian has been cheating for years, man.
And we're going to make an effort to share the stats publicly,
Yeah.
so that you know how I am compared to other men in your orbit.
Relatively, I'm still one of the best in the world. I know I've been cheating on you very often, especially in the past 6 months. But, you know, if you compare it to the rest of the world, you're getting a damn good deal, babe.
And I can understand. I cheated twice last year and I cheated 3 times this year. But this year, the reaction is a lot more. And all I can say is that I cheated for a longer time and you were impacted more. But generally, there hasn't been a big increase in cheating year on year.
It's still within reason. You know how ridiculous that defense sounds, and again, I as true as all of that may be, right? Actually, again, statistically and factually, if you see, yeah, okay, I mean, we do have a good transport network, right? You can't deny that. But I think saying these things in these manners in response to breakdowns and public outcry is where the problem really lies. That, you are, no, you don't, bro, don't. One of the most, I think in this parliamentary sitting, if I'm not wrong, I paraphrase a little bit, but I think I heard Acting Minister Jeffrey Siow say something to the effect of that, look, in this time period, our rail network has doubled, but the disruptions haven't. Something like that. Or if the rail networks double in this time period, but our problems or our disruptions don't double, that means we actually have improved.
Yeah, that was a response to 𝘚𝘀𝘍𝘍𝑢𝑛 question.
Is that sensible to you? I mean, you tell me, bro. I don't know. To me,
mathematically, it is sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the optics of it, because, okay, for context, right, like, just to give the details on what actually he said, so that if you weren't aware, you will realize that everything we said has an analogy just now, is anchored in some things that were actually muttered in Parliament.
Yeah,
so
but give the context. I think that's important.
So basically, I mean, he said a bunch of things. So first, he started with his own speech, saying this was the first time he's speaking in Parliament. He gave a background. He's been a civil servant. He's actually been at the Ministry of Transport as 𝘠𝘓𝑚𝑠𝑒C, I believe. So he's very well versed in the area. So just some of the things that he said in his speech about the train disruption, specifically, that train delays happen in every city. He addressed the specific incidents with regards to the NEL, the SPLRT, the SP, Sengkang Punggol LRT, the BP LRT, and he spoke about the task force, and he basically, the context of comparing to other countries, it was based on the one metric that is used generally around the world, which is the mean kilometers between failure. And apparently, Koh Boon Hwan in 2017 set a target for 1 million kilometers, which now on baseline is 1.7 train kilometers in the 12 months leading up to August 2025. So the higher the number, the better. That just means how many kilometers between disruptions.
Yep.
But I think there was an article a few years ago saying that it's lower since 2020. So there was a whole spiel he gave about how it's still very good, like what you mentioned just now. Compared to Taiwan and Japan, it's comparable. And around the world, we are still one of the best in the world. And then he gave some limitations about that metric, because he was saying, I think the downtown line had a number of 8 million MKBF at 1 year, but because one disruption happened, it immediately gets to 4. So there were questions also about, okay, if this metric is not the best, why are we still using it? And his answer was that it measures trends and it gives us something to compare to other systems. The thing about the doubling the rail network and doubling MKBF was a question I think 𝘚𝘀𝘍𝘍𝑢𝑛 asked, saying that, there's all these plans to invest 1 billion in the rail network, expand it. How are we going to ensure that things don't break? And that was where he said, if you double the rail network but the incidences don't double, we have improved. Which, I mean, mathematically, it does make sense.
Yep.
But for you, it just rubbed you the wrong way.
No, it doesn't rub me the wrong way. I just feel like, again, if the rail networks are made for the public, I think that's what I keep going back to, right? It's not so much a problem with the technology, maybe. I think it's really a communication issue overall. Sometimes if you... and that's why I feel sometimes the PR teams, if there's one, can maybe do a bit better to get the right messaging out to the public. And all these things that are being said are factual. And maybe the right data points and, setting the record straight and everything. But again, when you are a commuter who's late or who's facing these disruptions, maybe that's not what you want to hear at that time. Maybe you just want to hear, I don't know, right, okay, this is the problem. This is what we are doing about it. We'll try to reduce the problem. I think But then, actually, I know you also got a problem, but actually we are quite good, you know. That just becomes a bit like, well, no need lah.
So that means you're saying that even his speech itself could have been rewritten or phrased differently. Because I mean, when he gave the speech, there was no disruption that was going on per se. Right? So when you're saying that the comms and all, when the disruption happened, needs to be improved, his speech, let's say you were his writer or advisor.
Wow, okay, I don't have the full speech and I haven't listened to it in full, but I think in a general way, like, okay, for example, just yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw that there was some news headline where there was someone who filmed themselves drinking water in front of the no drinking sign on the MRT.
Yeah.
And the SMRT president came out and said, we've lodged a police report.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, fair, but I think you got bigger things to do, more important things to do, right? Why is the president coming out and commenting on this? I understand it's a flagrant breaking of the law. But see, these are comms things that I feel like as a public member, you're like, okay, yeah, this fella drank water, but then don't we have like more pressing issues? Why is the president saying, hey, hello, we'll break down whatever disruption, okay, that one, later, but water, don't anyhow drink in front of the thing, you know. So I feel like certain things like these maybe can be approached a little differently.
Yeah.
I don't have the answers, but yeah, I from my perspective, I think sometimes the public expectation and the government messaging, there's a huge gap. I think the government messaging makes things or tries to make things sound like they are much better than they are, whilst the public outcry always tries to make things sound like they are much worse than they are. And that's why there's this gap. And actually the gap is not so far. But because of the communication, it sounds like everything is very problematic. It's not only one person's problem. I think everybody kind of...
I mean, because we've spoken about Jeffrey Siow in a previous episode when he made some interesting comments about the COE and the private hire vehicle, which both Terence and I completely disagreed with. And I mean, even on Monday, he had a sparring session with Jamus about the COE. But when it comes to this train thing, okay, first of all, to cut him some slack, he's been acting Minister of Transport for 3.5 months.
Of course,
and it's damn shack portfolio.
It is. I mean, we've talked about this before. In fact, even 𝘠𝘕𝘓 has mentioned, I think, on to both of us at some point that being a transport minister, no matter how good you are as a leader, this is the most stressful. And really, you cannot sleep because you never know. You're always at the mercy of a breakdown, and it may not be your fault, but you just happen to be there, and you're like, oh man, now I have to deal with this as the transport minister. So, totally agree. I think we got to give the guy some slack. It's his first portfolio, and he has to deal with all this. Not easy. But you are the elected dude lah.
Exactly. And I mean, so that's where I feel like the messaging, and you hear it across a lot of the speeches when they are debating, right? Which I won't go into. I'll focus on this. Like, he started his speech. I mean, I think it was about a 24-minute speech it was less because he was answering questions lah. The first part, which I think maybe like 15 minutes, he was talking about the breakdowns. He started off with the stats. Explaining the MKBF, and it felt like people are already not happy, like what you said, right? You start with the stats already, like 3-4 minutes in, I was like, okay lah, so what you're telling me that I don't really have a right to complain because globally we are not bad lah. I think just swapping it around, right, would do a lot of things, because one thing that he did say, it's unrealistic to expect zero disruptions. But if you go online, a lot of the chatter is like, no one is expecting zero disruptions. It's just that when the disruptions happen, it feels like there's no plan lah. He did address saying that there will be more info about where to go when a disruption happens. I think he said even on an app, it'd be useful if like on the SMRT app. I don't think SMRT does have a app, but it's concerning bus and all also lah. It's not a train specific app. Maybe there needs to be an app that you can get notifications, but of course, like, I don't know whether they will build it because it just brings front and center the delay app, the delays lah. But I think just starting off by saying, okay, this is unfortunate, is not ideal. We will get to the bottom of this, and then put the reasons at the back. I think that will do a lot already.
Yeah.
When you start off with like the stats, kind of like, in some way, gaslighting sentiment a bit.
Yeah, I think, public service is such a thankless job.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you get thanked in some ways.
Yeah, that one you get even before you join, right? As you are joining, okay?
Yeah.
But from the public perception, if things are going well, right, nobody is going to come and pat you on the back and say, hey, very good are you? But the moment things go wrong, they'll be like, hey, what's this? Hello? Which I think you need to accept about public service anyway. And I think this is one of those examples. If you're doing something right, that's an expectation. But if you are not, then you better find a way to set it right. And I think what you are saying is correct, right? Sometimes this very thankless and unpopular role of having to set the record straight makes a politician sound or look unempathetic, uncompassionate. And it's very difficult to do both.
Yeah.
To be compassionate, empathetic, while setting the record straight.
Yeah.
I think some people who do it very well in Singapore are PM Lawrence Wong. The way he dealt with COVID, for example, the way he continues to deal with difficult issues. I think he's someone who talks to people, understands people, as an orator, as a leader.
Play guitar,
go Philippines and play guitar, bro. Next level, okay.
Touring. He's touring already, lah.
Yeah, touring. And I think when he connects with people, you feel like, okay, let me listen to what stats he's gonna throw in my face now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this person is not throwing stats in my face to justify a defense or be defensive. This person is giving me information that helps me understand the situation better. And I think you're right in saying that sometimes minor tweaks in communication or in the speeches can allow people to feel that, like, okay, I feel like this leader understands my problem, connects with me, is sympathetic and compassionate towards me. Let me listen to what this person has to say about the facts and figures now. So yeah, with you on that. I think it's minor tweaks.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm a bit surprised because I know when one of his first public speeches and all after getting elected was about the COE, the private hire vehicle. And then when I felt like, hey, when you say that kind of things, you are just digging a hole for yourself.
Do you think it sounded tone deaf?
Yeah. Yeah. Because, over those few days, I think Jamus, then Lee Hsien Loong also at a forum, he talked about the COE thing. And you can disagree with his stance, but he provided a very economic logic to why the COE system needs to be. I think even Jamus acknowledged that, okay, if the Jeffrey Siow argument was along those lines, it would make a lot more sense. But I think for Jeffrey Siow, what he said is that if there's one COE left, it's better to go to a private hire vehicle driver than a individual, because private hire driver can serve more people. Which, I mean, it just felt like, yeah. But I think that's where, after that, I would have thought that, okay, when he's talking about MRT disruptions, there is a different tact that he would take. Maybe, I mean, there's also been some chatter about whether him having so much experience in the Ministry of Transport is a good thing. I don't know. Sometimes, when you know too much, you almost feel like, this is really, our system is really pretty damn good. And I think that when I started listening, I was like, oh shit, this is going to be the same old stuff, telling us why, we have these breakdowns, it's isolated, it's not systemic. Because there are changes that I think it makes sense. Like now, even the operator model, I think previously the operators were also in charge of renewing the assets and operating it. But then now I believe it's LTA that is going to be owning the assets and renewing it, and the operator just operates it. Because there have been some issues with some of the trains a bit never renew fast enough, or some of the switches, which has causes issues. And then also, more precise information. Seems like he's pushing LTA to be a lot more transparent about stats and data, which is good. But just the delivery, like what you say, I think the bigger thing is the public sentiment. And I mean, I think now I use bus more than train. So thankfully, I never kena any. But even within our team, there were some people who were affected by the breakdowns.
Yeah. I think, our buses seem a bit more reliable, I guess. But
guess-
that is just part of you're on the road. Everything will have a little bit of issues here and there, I guess. But
But just now, so you say public service is thankless job. I mean, on stage also, you have 10 good shows, but one show you say someone fucked up thing, you get cancelled. Right?
yeah,
So that risk applies to
anyone whose
anyone
work
in
is
the
public.
in a public thing.
A bad day for an accountant at the office is, how come the accounts don't match, lapse, this, that, or need to
You don't get
redo.
fired by society.
Your boss will fire you, maybe worse, right? Or maybe 𝘧𝘲 comes and look for you. Hey, how come all this, or back pay this and all that. Worst case, maybe go jail, okay, really bad.
Worst case lah.
But I guess for those whose work is in the public sphere, a bad day at the office is really public, man. Like that, bad day in office, say something wrong in parliament. And I think this might be a bit of a tangential discussion, but I think along the same vein of how public service is such a thankless job, I think we need to be cautious of giving either a blanket free pass to the government or a blanket distrust of the system. I think both of those viewpoints are very obtuse and very lazy. Because there are some people who whatever statement the government makes or any minister or political office holder makes, they're like, bullshit lah. Just trying to cover backside lah. Just trying to give excuses. Which I don't think is helpful. By that same token, you have some people who whatever they say, yes, Singapore government the best, correct, or you must make sure that, how can be like. So I think both of those extreme viewpoints are very problematic. I think what is in this scenario, in evaluating the position of the authorities or the ministers or the political office holders, what is actually useful is looking at it in a case-by-case basis. And when I say that, I mean
looking at what
their responses or the way they're approaching things. Because I don't think there's a blanket one-size-fits-all response to all of this. Like we've agreed, there are different ministers who approach things differently, do things differently. Some of them communicate a little better. And I think when they do that, you got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
But by that same token, when it's not doing well, you got to be ready to go hey, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
I disagree with this. This doesn't work.
I mean, you look at what's happening in the US. I mean, as we record this, Donald Trump just gave a speech at the UN for 56 minutes where he just says some crazy shit. But if you go on X or you go online, right, you see all the conservatives all wow, I love our president.
Yeah, regardless.
He's finally saying this stuff. Even though some of the stuff he says is it doesn't reflect good on the US and it might affect a lot of things. But a lot on the left are this is the biggest embarrassment to the UN that the US has ever put on. So, and you see, I totally agree, those two extreme approaches, right? Just not healthy. Not healthy.
Yeah.
Not healthy.
And I think we live in an information age where rigorous debate, academic research, or any kind of experimentation and peer review, everybody wants all of that to be distilled into one X post or one 60-second reel or one short thread post. And you are kind of judged by that, or your entire viewpoint on a very complex and long-standing issue has to be distilled into that, or like a media soundbite, which I think is problematic. And that's why I feel for example, a platform like this, like you and I are kind of having this discussion right now, at the very least, you're not forcing someone to come here and give their nuanced, intelligent, mature, maybe inconsistent at times response in a 90-second reel. You're giving them, 1.5 hours, come, let's deep dive a little bit into the issue. And I think this is the kind of thing that's missing in human growth and general learning over the long term, especially on social media.
But you think it's possible for politicians to do that? Right?
Why not? I think this is part of discourse. I think you're asking me this question well knowing that that has become the mode of discussion, right? The fact that you had so many political guests on your podcast shows that they understand the value of discussions like this. I think even they are at times sick of being misquoted or having their entire views reduced to a soundbite. Sometimes the media does that. So I feel that if, as someone with media training, now I understand how the media works. So when I'm asked for my opinion on an issue, being maybe a comedian or an artist, if someone asks me about a certain issue, I'm very cautious about giving an interview or doing an email. Yeah, because you see, if you're a reporter, right?
Yeah.
And you've got to put a story, you can't field my entire statement, right? You can field 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines that fit your story.
And you don't know how it's going to fit into the
I don't know how it's going to fit, right? And I can't, not everybody is going to give you, can I see the final article before it goes out? No, they'll be like, no, who the hell are you? So that's why in recent times, I've started doing only either an editorial, which is a long form response to an issue, or I release my own public statement on my social media. So even if someone plucks out 1 line from there,
that's the full context.
The full context is here.
Oh,
sometimes, sometimes they will just like, Rishi said XYZ, and then they put it in some other context. And I'm like, okay. If someone says, hey, you're this person reported that you said that, say, please refer to the full statement.
So if someone from Wall Street Journal was listening to this and like wanted to interview Rishi Budhrani, then you'll be like, no.
Well, I think it depends on the context. I think in maybe Wall Street Journal is a little different context than local mainstream media, because we've got a lot of government links to mainstream media in Singapore, and that those ties cannot be independent no matter how much we argue otherwise. There are links. There is a public service element to media in Singapore. So truly independent media, maybe there are some out there outside of Singapore, but I don't know. I think you need to know what everyone's biases are, where everybody's money is coming from, and what topic is being discussed before you become a source or a discussion of an interview point.
So then, you talk about, having your own agency to control your own narrative, right?
To represent me accurately. So the control narrative makes it sound like I've got an agenda. No, I think it's more to prevent me from being misrepresented. I think that's the more important thing.
So then, I mean, in terms of like what people can do on their own as a citizen, right? What do you think about, some people who say that the Minister of Transport, anytime breakdown, he should go down there and show his face, put in that kind of sweat equity?
I think that's not wrong, but I think it also depends on who you are as a person, because if that is incongruent to your personality, people can smell bullshit from a mile away.
But ministers, MPs, they always say they're on the ground, right?
I don't know if he said it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But to me...
But isn't that the notion that, they're always supposed to be on the ground? They're supposed to be in touch with reality.
Go. I think go and... I think there's a limit.
Would you prefer if like every breakdown, right, you see like the Siow mobile comes, then like Jeffrey comes out and he's there. He's there.
Have there been... Okay, so who has been doing that in the past? Did Corbyn one do that?
I don't know. But I know at the recent sinkhole that happened...
Oh yeah, the Marine Parader. Goh Pei Meng.
Goh Pei Meng was there.
He looked stressed,
was there also. So, I mean, that one... I won't deny that when I saw him, I was like, wow, okay lah, yeah.
I would say there's a good signal, especially if you are a new political office holder. This matters enough to me that on a Sunday, I'm leaving everything as the MP of this constituency. I'm going down, bro. I'm going down. Yeah, because the public is there.
Yeah.
And this happened not far from where you live also, right?
Yeah.
In the same region.
Yeah.
Do you see it became like a tourist site? I drove by when the
people taking photos all.
People like standing around and I was like, hey, what's the update? How come?
Is it?
Yeah. It became like a...
I thought when I got the video, I thought some fucker go and use AI to go and make this thing. Because it looks so surreal.
Yeah, it was so weird. But
going back to what I said, as much as I also don't like the idea of like, just show your face and all. I think like what you said, like it does have an impact.
Yep.
If like let's say every time there's a disruption, right? Jeffrey is he just flies down,
Yeah.
Some people might call it wayang, but some people, of course, over there. Because I think, you know that feeling when you're stuck in the MRT with a lot of people, it really is very uncomfortable. You know, it's very claustrophobic. It's damn hot and sweaty.
I can only imagine. I mean, fortunately, I've not been in a breakdown in Singapore before. Other countries got. Singapore, not yet. Lucky.
I mean, you see the pictures, you see the pictures.
Yeah, they look really rabak. I think, sorry to use the word rabak on this very high level podcast.
Yeah lah, bro. Use any word you want.
Okay.
It's
damn rabak.
Don't worry, we won't misrepresent you or anything.
I think the worst one in recent times was when those people had to walk on the LRT tracks. The one that made it to BBC.
Yeah.
To me, that one really sends a bad taste for the commuters.
Yeah.
Safety wise.
I mean, would have been cool photo opportunities lah.
Yeah, but not if you are in like a wheelchair lah, bro. You know, imagine you are on a...
Thanks for making me sound like a shallow piece of shit.
Sorry. I mean, no, I don't know if there was anyone there, but I just think, you know, the old people, the senior citizens.
Check,
I mean, young people, okay, cool, bro. Hey, I'm all for that, right? Like, let's have a 0.5 moment right here for, my first train disruption on LRT.
Walking on the track. Woo.
Best, I'm sure there's some kids going, best transport system in the world. But imagine if, you're some old lady and then take LRT. I'm like, alamak. How, bro, now?
Yeah.
So I don't know if there was anyone like that. But,
so I mean, I'm like right now there's a lot of promises that have been made.
What is he promising, bro?
I mean, the more visible stats that LTA will disclose, like the MK, mean kilometers between failures, MKBF stats made publicly, more info shared with commuters at any point of disruption.
Transparency, that's something he can commit to.
Yeah, potential additional buses to supplement the trains. So
MKBF sounds like, I thought it's like MDRT.
That's right. It sounds like MBTI lah. You know, that kind of personality test.
Personality test, yeah.
And then also the task force. So I mean, we have to hold him accountable, hold him and his ministry accountable.
I know you are the one asking the questions here, but I'll ask you a serious question. Do you feel there are sufficient task force in Singapore?
No.
Not enough, right?
I think there should be one new task force a day. Or maybe task force Thursdays. You know, like...
Yeah, it's a show.
Every Thursday.
Like, you can buy tickets to tell the government what problem requires a task force in Singapore.
And then there's an unveiling of the latest task force.
Yeah, everybody vote. Everybody goes online and vote. Like, there's an app, right? Like, you use the same interface as Trace Together, but you just change to Task Together.
Task Together,
Task Together. Yeah. So it's an app to build a new task force for a current problem you are facing. Hey, what's happening in your issue? Like, we had a task force for chickens in Sin Ming last time. Remember that?
No.
Bro, you don't remember? A few years ago, I think it was just after COVID, there was a lot of chickens.
Task force for chickens?
Yeah. This was, I think in Sin Ming, there was a growing population of chickens.
Oh shit, 27 March 2022. Task force set up to control chicken population at
So, I mean, if,
What the... No, then there can be like a meter, like, okay, haven't reached task force level, task force initiated.
Who's going to lead the task force for the chicken population?
Oh, the article was quite tricky. The task force was set up after people cried foul over the covert culling of chickens there in 2017.
Cutting edge journalism.
Yeah, so task force. I mean, I think everyone should know at least one person who's in a task force. Until we reach that, right? No, we haven't maxed out the task force capability of Singapore.
It is my true dream
to be part of a task force.
To be on a task force for a real for a seemingly
I'm sure there's like task force SOPs and all within the government, because they keep using the term even though it's so ridiculous. But
the best task force arguably was the COVID
task force. That was probably the thing that made task force mainstream.
That was the inception of task forces.
So task forces have been around for ages. But that was the thing that really crystallized the importance of a task force. That's why Lawrence Wong is like, task force, what? Like he and his bro, Gan Kim Yong,
He's a task
who
force
is actually
man.
at the center of the next story, lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lead us in, man.
Well,
Great segue, bro.
Which is that, I mean, this was something he said, Gan Kim Yong, the DPM, at the Public Service Leadership Ceremony on September 19th, that Singapore will launch a mandatory AI literacy course for public servants.
Oh, nice.
For all public servants. And there are 150,000 public servants.
Wow.
Yeah. So
everybody must use their skills future credit or just get government
I think
free?
this one, I think this one for free. So the goal is to raise the level of responsible AI use in the public service and will complement digital leadership training.
I think that's the key word, right? Complement.
Yeah.
Cannot be used as a
replacement.
Yeah. Cannot be it's like time, right? You can't use it as a crutch. You need to use it as a tool. But do you think, okay, next problem, do you feel like by this happening that civil servants may start losing their jobs to AI?
I think it's inevitable.
You think so? I mean, let me teach you how to use AI. You become effective. Make the system so effective using AI, and then you get replaced by AI. This is the trap. This is the new task force.
Because that's why, I mean, the AI thing, it was a big part of the National Day rally by Lawrence Wong. And then this one, I think it's inevitable that there will be some loss of roles. The thing is, I don't know about loss of jobs because I have heard, anecdotally that public service, they don't fire often. Right. So that's why I'm curious to see how this will pan out because apparently about 1/3 of the 150,000 public servants already use an in-house AI assistant called PAIR.
PEAR? Or PAIR?
PAIR. Why the fuck would they have a PAIR?
Bro, it's an acronym. You've not heard of ridiculous acronyms in the past.
But pair so you pair up with it.
What does it stand for?
It doesn't stand. It's just a word.
It's a word. Pair. Oh, like
PAIR, like a pair of shoes.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool, man. That's good.
So I mean, but I guess it's in-house. So I don't know how good it is. Apparently, more than 16,000 custom AI bots have been created to automate tasks and improve responsiveness.
Do you like chatting with AI bots?
I am I'm damn scared about the potential of AI, even though I admittedly use it quite a bit.
I mean, no, when you are trying to get something done and you are faced with an AI chatbot.
Oh, I fucking hate that.
Yeah, right? I mean, bro, enough lah. I want to talk to a human being.
Yeah.
So that's my first concern with the civil servants and these government organizations going more into using AI as tools.
But they are not going to use, not everyone will be using chatbots.
I guess that's my concern, right? Because there are some things that you really need to talk to a person. Like imagine your HDB delay and you've got a chatbot going like, which block are you in? Okay, can you please tell
But
me?
imagine if you were sitting opposite a human and you ask a question, like, when am I going to find out this? And they say, okay, let me consult my PAIR AI app. And it gives you a full detailed background answering all your questions.
That's the dream. That's the right use of it.
Yeah. So chatbot only, right?
Must be in. I mean, that's why I say I hope it doesn't reach a point where they are replacing the human beings. Because as it is, government typical is like 3 to 5 working days later. Then you get to talk to a human being or get an email response. Now, with AI, hopefully done faster lah.
The thing is, this kind of AI course, right? Who I think would be the happiest that these announcements being made? The service providers who provide AI courses.
Oh yeah, of course.
They'll be like, wow, it's boom time. Because the thing is, this AI course, I mean, I can imagine, right? A course, they want to come up with a curriculum, come up with a course. AI is advancing so damn fast, right? That by the time they can lock down this course, it'll be outdated already. So, I don't know lah. This kind of thing, an AI course for everyone. Like, have you ever taken like one of those courses that everybody needs to take for whatever reason? Online course where you just click.
Oh, okay, yeah. In the army.
Then how was it?
Okay lah. I'm completed my NS liabilities. Never got called back. I got called back recently, bro. Oh my god. Sorry, this is completely unrelated to AI.
That's fine.
But 2 weeks ago, I got a phone call from the commanding officer of my reservist unit. and I've completed all my NS liabilities. I got a letter from MINDEF already.
You already.
Everything, bro, done. So the first thought I had, I was groggy early in the morning. I saw the call from Colonel. I'm like, are we going to war? So stupid. I'm like,
you really panic.
I was like, what? Why is he calling me? Like, calling, not even like, hey, Rishi, how are you? Calling me. And then I missed the call, and as I was preparing to call him back, I was like, oh, are we going to war? And then it quickly hit me. I'm like, if we are, why the fuck is he calling me? Like, what can I do? Turns out he wanted me to do a comedy show for the battalion.
Oh.
So it's like, okay.
Wasn't a scam, huh?
No, real. He's like, bro, we're doing a change of command ceremony. Can you come back, entertain the guys a bit? I'm like, hey, that's very, very cool of you to call me back, man. He's like, yeah, bro, you can come, you can roast the old colonel and everything. It'll be fun to have someone from the battalion back. I'm like, that's really cool. So I did that, and it was a real joy, bro. Go back, last day of ICT for some of these guys. They cannot book out yet because they have to clock the full day for Hikey. So they're just stuck in the auditorium, and I just go there. And I bring Jackie along. Jackie does the opening 10 minutes. I do another half an hour or 20 plus minutes, and we just have some fun with the service. Shock, bro.
You must wear uniform all, do you?
No need, bro. That's the best.
Alamak.
Best. And we are all higher ranked than the colonels also, because we are civilian.
But how do you come to think about this when we are talking about AI?
Sorry, because we talk about AI, and then
chatbot, real life in-person interactions,
real human interactions, getting calls, civil service, doing courses online during.
Then
NS.
you said last time you did was army.
Yes.
And then you just had to insert this army story.
Sorry.
Thanks, Rishi.
Wow.
Really contributed to the conversation around AI.
I think this is going to be one of your reels. Like, unrelated.
I think it'll be the one where you say rabak. But, I mean, do you use AI a lot?
My team does a bit more than I do, I think. I try to. I guess the most immediate application, I would say, for example, editing videos. Transcribing captions, for example. Scheduling, I have a great producer and a manager who does it. I think she does use some AI tools to help her with certain things.
Writing your jokes or?
Writing jokes cannot, bro. I think it's really... I mean, when I was doing my show called AI, which stands for Artificial Indian, when I was exploring this topic greatly, in fact, at that time, it was at the whole debate of the writers' strike in the US, where I went to the US to try and do gigs, and there were no gigs because everybody was on strike. I did this discussion a lot, and there was a segment of my show where I was exploring, like, okay, these jokes are written by ChatGPT, and these jokes are written by a human being. See whether you can figure it out. But every time I tested it, it's so freaking obvious because ChatGPT prompts for stand-up comedy or for writing jokes are still at the point of a horse walks into a bar. That's how the prompt or the system understands jokes. Whereas stand-up comedy, I feel, is a little more nuanced than that. But that's not the discussion.
I mean, even for me, and I think for Terrence also, even if we use AI, coming up with ideas, we never touch AI. Because it just feels like there's going to be... Now you need to insert your own flavor into it also.
Yeah, I think that is the untouchable area so far. Especially for creators. Ideation and creating.
But then, can you imagine, like, now if all these public servants take AI courses, right? The next time you performing a government event, you'll run your script through AI, bro.
Yeah, that could very well be. Just don't give script. Say you need to trust. Okay, you need to trust me.
So you think in general a good thing, this course?
I think it's fine. It's okay as long as it, again, is used as a tool rather than as a replacement for communication with the public or as a replacement for the civil servants who might lose their jobs. I hope that doesn't happen for your sake.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's important everybody understands. I'm just curious how this course will be.
Don't know, man. Like you say, if it's one of those where you can do it at home, sitting in your computer and just click next, just to clock the KPI that, okay,
Yeah.
800 people from this department have already done this and they are AI ready. It's not like, okay, I don't know, I bring back a army analogy. It's not like weapons training. You can't pass SAR-21 unless you really know how to use it, right? But some courses, I don't know, like, okay, for example, if you're, this is again a weird example, but if you're getting divorced, okay, before you sign...
All of your analogies all have to do with marriage.
Is it to do with marriage? I don't know.
Marriage or relationships?
I guess that's what everybody is kind of in at some point, right? Or relates to. This is the comedy gene in me waking up, right? How do you relate to everybody? Yeah, everybody is going through some kind of relationship, either looking for love or lonely or married or divorced or, you know, trying to date on a dating app. But someone told me that you need to complete a course before you file for divorce. I don't know how true this is. Like you need to do some kind of I don't know, like online thing to
questionnaire or something.
Okay, you know, this is what's gonna happen, this is the process, this is what you gotta do, this is what you do. And then just go, okay, yes, I know, next. Or even when you have to employ a foreign domestic worker. You have to say, okay, you can't, you know.
But that one I would say is more like a assessment rather than a course.
Maybe it's an assessment,
Yeah.
Course, actually, that means I have not done courses for very long already, bro.
Wow, then your skills future credit all go to waste.
Haven't, bro. I wanted to do basket weaving, but
31st December, I think it got credits will expire, no?
I don't know. I'm gonna use.
Better get on that shit, man.
I'm gonna use for AI.
Cool, man.
Yep.
Okay lah. Now we just have our one Shiok Thing segment.
Really nothing to talk about on this topic.
I mean, it is a bit of a high-level philosophical question. Somehow we talked so long for the first topic.
Oh yeah, okay.
Can move on or not? Or you have any other tangential stories to say?
No.
No,
nothing to do with this.
So the one Shiok Thing, no need to explain to you lah. You know the drill.
The one Shiok Thing, come, let me share with you.
You got?
I got this. There's an Instagram page called Simply. It's called Nature. Nature. And it is in this world of AI where so many images that you see, many videos that you see, you're not sure whether it's real, not real, doctored, this and that. This particular Instagram page that I go to when I'm deeply stressed actually shows you real photography by real photographers of nature. So sometimes you see an animal being captured in their natural habitat. Sometimes you see the moon.
Oh, shit. They got the handle nature also.
Yeah, the handle is literally nature. And every photograph you see there is credited to the actual photographer. So sometimes I end up in a rabbit hole where I see something nice and then I go to this photographer's page and you see that, wow. And this is not, I mean, to the best of my knowledge, it's not AI or whatever. It's all real stuff because every one of them links to their personal pages and you see their journeys as photographers, as image capture creators. And it's quite beautiful, man.
Oh, shit, man. This is cool.
Real stress buster, real, again, in the manufactured world of social media, it is a real sanctuary of reality into the beautiful world that we've got.
Oh, shit. Oh, it's true. Like you can see very different styles and then they talk about that photographer and their... What is a fully black penguin? Oh,
beautiful, huh?
Shit, man. Yo. Wow, a half-colored horse.
Very nice, yeah. Some of the imagery is truly gorgeous.
I was half expecting you to give some fuck all kind of one shot thing. This is not bad, man.
Bro, is this how you talk to the Prime Minister and the leader of opposition?
I mean, he comes like 7 times.
Wow, so the value drops.
Not the value, the comfort, Rishi.
Oh, the comfort, okay.
The comfort lah, the rapport, bro. Rapport. Oh, but not bad.
Check it out. Nature, very beautiful.
Okay, my one Shiok Thing is there's this restaurant called Hush Harbor that opened somewhere in the US that basically, if you want to go there and eat, right, you have to surrender your phones with a host. And the phone is locked in a pouch that you carry with you, like how it is at a concert.
Yeah.
So if you need access, you have to go outside and ask the host to unlock it for you. So no staff, use phones and no customers can use the phones.
Beautiful, man.
Damn cool, right?
Yeah. Have you been in one of these?
No, I don't know whether there's something like this in Singapore, but all the staff, all the guests have no phones. And it's part, you want to enter, you want to eat, you have to surrender your phone.
Yeah, and if you got emergencies, you got to go to the person who has the means
lock,
to
whatever,
remove.
yeah.
So I've been in a show in London like that.
Is it?
Yeah, I went to watch Hasan Minhaj there. And he had the same...
You surrender your phone?
Yeah, because a lot of them who are working their new shows...
Or they don't want it to be recorded.
Exactly, because it's specials that are...
But if a restaurant does this, that's quite cool. I
think it's great, man. I think it's a great practice. In fact, some of the comedy clubs in the US do it also.
Is
but
it?
They do a more rudimentary style. So if you go to the Comedy Cellar, right, what you have to do is that they'll give you like one of those...
boxes, those phone
postage packs.
Then you stick...
Then you put your phone inside this envelope, like a postage envelope.
Yeah, what the fuck postage?
Sorry. And then you have to seal it. And when you open it, there's a so everybody in the club knows that you've opened it and they call you out, hey, whatever. Emergency, go out and do it, you know. So a lot of clubs have started doing that as well. And I think it's a great practice because when I watched this concert for this stand-up show in London, for example, it was a really different experience when you are forced to be amongst human beings without your devices. Forced,
you can feel it as an audience member.
You feel it because now you are...
Everyone's engaged.
Everyone's either engaged. So I was there alone, right? I wasn't with a group or whatever because I was in the middle of shooting a show and I happened to have time and he happened to add a show and someone happened to get me a ticket and that's how I went. So it was not planned. Like I didn't go with a group or what. So you people watch, you see who's there, you take it all in, you look at the architecture, you're focused on the lighting, there's drinks that serve inside, you meet people.
Yeah.
And it really...
You disconnect lah.
It elevates your entire human experience.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing. Hush Harbour.
One place that actually does that in Singapore, which I highly recommend you go to, Parliament.
Really? I need to lock your phone outside.
You cannot bring your phone.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah.
Bro, I tell you, you go there, you look at the architecture, you look at people's expressions, you look at their shirt, their pants, their shoes.
Yeah.
So Parliament and, Hush Harbour. Yeah, the Hush Harbour equivalent in Singapore is Parliament.
Parliament,
Let's go to Parliament.
Do they serve food?
No food. Got a vending machine downstairs.
Why they don't serve food?
But you cannot bring food or you cannot drink inside. You cannot talk also.
Okay, this is... I don't know how true... I read about how sometimes in the UK, they have these drink sessions before the parliamentary sitting to kind of...
For the parliamentarians?
For the parliamentarians. To kind of ease the tension a bit.
I think Singapore don't have.
Singapore cannot.
No, Singapore don't have.
Imagine everybody go, hey, hello, give me one picture Tiger beer. Jeffrey, cannot say that.
No, but I tell you, I think that would be great, man.
I would so watch that.
Yeah. Oh, so you mean you watch it in the gallery?
I don't know. I think...
So the bar also has a gallery, and then after that, everyone moves to Parliament.
Like the pre-show.
The pre-show.
MDDI. This is only YouTube Premium.
You pay lah, you pay.
Yeah, paid subscription, you get to see...
man, I would pay for that, man.
The pre-show and you get to see the post-show.
Yeah.
But only the parliamentary sitting is
because
free.
I think there is a room there, like the break room, where people go there and mingle. I don't know whether they mingle.
I would imagine if everybody is literally... Okay, so my view of Parliament, and I think there's a lot of parliamentarians who take this view, based on my understanding and discussions with them, is that you're all actually fighting for the same thing, right? For Singaporeans. And for Singapore.
Yeah.
And you may disagree on how to get to this this goal. You may disagree on where the pain points are. You may disagree on the data, and you may disagree on the best solution. But your actual objective is the same. And I think that if there's that greater mindset over some drinks, if you do consume drinks or kopi or whatever your drink of choice is, I think that can really help lubricate the people to have a more open discussion.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Like you have cocktails, mocktails, whatever, but before Parliament, yum, 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 yum.
Yum, Singapore.
And then you walk into Parliament.
Okay.
Fucking solved.
So we've solved Singapore's problems in one podcast.
We always come up with these great ideas.
Bro, I think you should be in parliament, bro.
Never, no.
Well, here's a suggestion. While the parliamentarians cannot do this or don't do this, to our knowledge, there's no like drinking session.
When they come on our podcast.
You can have on the podcast. Or you say you went for team meeting before parliament, right? Team meeting, right? You drink with your team.
And then
you go to watch
parliament.
Drunk. Just go parliament drunk. No rules against that, right?
No rules. As long as you drink everything before you step into parliament.
I mean, it's not like they're going to use the brand new breathalyzer technology.
Yeah.
They see your face. Mr. Tilani, please take a breathalyzer.
That's true. You go into parliament drunk.
Bro, next level enjoyment, bro. Then you come out your podcast, sure. Better than Stephen Bartlett's.
Oh man, but yeah, cool, man. So on that note, we've come to the end of the podcast.
Okay. So
now you can plug whatever you want to plug.
Okay. Now that they've gotten to know me, and
they have made their decision already. So some of them are going to stop right now.
Okay.
Or some of them are going to give you like a few minutes.
If you think this sucks and you think that there's no point listening to Rishi anymore, then just switch off.
They would have switched off even before you started saying that already.
No. I think some of them might be like maybe got something.
Cut.
We do. The comedians have come together to put on a charity fundraiser for some of those who are affected by the floods in Punjab. We're collaborating with a foundation called the Mercy Relief Foundation. And all the proceeds of ticket sales that you purchase tickets to this show for, after PTX deducts their platform fee, I have to declare that, goes directly to Mercy Relief. And that goes directly to the organizations they're working with to support the affected people of the floods in Punjab.
Okay.
It's a show called Puns for Punjab.
Puns for Punjab. Okay.
Yes. It was a tricky thing to organize this show with comedians, I gotta say.
Puns for Punjab. Okay.
We were thinking of what names, when we told the comics. I'm like, hey, okay, this is Cheryl's initiative, my wife, who spearheads this. She, was crowdsourcing names for the show Comedians being comedians are really horrible. I say, we are doing this for floods for Punjab. Let's call it drowning in laughter. Like, what the yeah, guys, cannot lah. How about overflowing with punchlines? I said, go, bro. What are you talking about?
Puns for Punjab, not bad. Puns for Punjab.
Yeah.
And it's happening 8th October lah.
8th October, tickets on Puns for Punjab.
I'll put a link
below. The show is almost sold out already, but if you don't get tickets for the show and you still want to show some support, we are all going to leave some links for you to donate direct to Mercy Relief.
Okay. So I point people to Puns for Punjab lah.
Yes, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Solid. Okay,
appreciate
cool.
it, man.
So the links to everything we mentioned are in the show notes. You can find Rishi's handles there. You can find our handles there. Remember, if you want to work with us, you can reach out at contact@ministryoffunny.com or just drop us a message at ministryoffunny.com. Thanks so much for joining us, Rishi.
Hey, it's been a real
We'll get you back
pleasure.
the next time there's been a series of MRT disruptions.
Thank you. I look forward to that. Hopefully I can...
Maybe you'll be back next week.
Maybe see you tomorrow. Hey, no, but really, let's be honest. Okay, if our real networks double, but our problems don't double, that means we are improving.
Yeah.
So if I come back on this podcast again and there's less...
So 11 months, if you come back sooner than 11 months...
Yeah, that means got problem.
Got problem.
But if it's later, then okay, no problem.
Yeah, can.
Okay?
Cool, man.
You understand, right?
Yeah, I understand.
Sure.
I'm trying to end the podcast.
Okay, bye.
You keep going on. Yeah.
But, okay, sorry. Okay,
All right.
bye.
Thank you, Rishi. And thanks everyone for listening. We'll talk to you all very soon.